group of human survivors lived underground for hundreds of years in the future. They hid and survived inside an underground silo. No one knew what happened to the outside world, or what kind of apocalyptic disaster had taken place. No one knew who built the silo, or who established the social order inside. Since the beginning of their memory, they lived by the rules of the silo. To preserve limited resources, the silo's authorities enforced birth control. Only couples who contributed and reached a certain age were granted the right to have children. John, the sheriff, and his wife Allison finally got permission to conceive after 3 applications. Soon, doctors removed the birth control implant from Allison's body. The couple was filled with joy at the thought of having a baby, but after 6 months had passed, they still hadn't conceived. If they didn't succeed within 1 year, they would lose the right to try again. Though they were disappointed, they didn't question the system. One day, an old woman with white hair approached Allison and told her a shocking secret. The reason they couldn't get pregnant was part of the silo's plan all along, just like what had happened to the woman and her husband years ago under the same rules. Allison immediately told John about it, but he didn't believe her. As the sheriff of the silo, he firmly believed the system was fair. One day, a man approached Allison, who was trained in engineering, and asked her to repair an old disc left by rebels 140 years ago. A rebellion had taken place in the silo at that time, and the government destroyed all rebel records afterward. Anyone found hiding such materials would be banished to the surface for breaking the law. Driven by curiosity about the silo, Allison boldly began to recover the data from the disc. After some effort, she cracked the disc's encryption. Inside were the complete engineering blueprints of the silo. Allison was deeply shocked by what she saw. Frightened, she stopped and walked away. After everything that happened, Allison couldn't focus at work. Her mind was completely unsettled. She returned to the man again and asked to see the rest of the disc. In the final file, they saw a perfect world existing above the surface. At this moment, Ellie finally began to doubt. This silo had been deceiving everyone. John noticed that his wife had been in low spirits recently, so he called for a psychologist. But when he found Ellie, he saw her sitting in the chair, looking haggard. Ellie asked John to sit down, and she revealed the evil secret of the silo to him. The reason they couldn't have children was something the management had planned long ago. John could not believe his wife's words. Then Ellie took out from her side the contraceptive device she had removed herself. John saw that Ellie was bleeding heavily. He quickly ran to get a doctor for treatment, but unexpectedly, Ellie went to the cafeteria. She told everyone that the outside world was not the end of days. John rushed over in a hurry, wanting Ellie to calm down, but Ellie had already had enough of the lies here, and she spoke a shocking sentence.
I want to go out!
Now Ellie had violated the silo's laws. She would be sent to the surface to clean the lenses of the cameras. After an investigation, the management quickly arrested the white-haired woman and the man. The next day, Ellie put on a protective suit, ready to be sent to the surface. Ellie firmly believed that the outside world had no toxic gas. Then she resolutely walked out. When Ellie successfully cleaned the camera lens, everyone cheered. John, seeing this scene, could not believe his eyes. But when Ellie turned and walked into the distance, she suddenly collapsed to the ground, unresponsive. John looked at his wife's figure. He could do nothing. Could it be that the outside world really had become the end of days, just as the silo claimed? 2 years passed just like that. Sheriff John suddenly received news from that man. The message said he had fallen from the 120th floor. Although there were no witnesses, a woman believed he was murdered.